Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Mary Mac. Today we're having some soup because we've been having a bit of soup weather in western Pennsylvania. It's hot, it's cold, it's stormy, it's rainy. There's a second of sunshine, and then back to the other on repeat. So soup is good, number one, and it's a nice, quick, easy meal to make. This is a favorite soup of mine. It's stewed tomato soup. It's a nice hearty tomato soup, goes great with a grilled cheese sandwich, especially if you do like a fancier grilled cheese sandwich with some good sourdough bread and some nice high quality cheese. Would go great with this soup. So here you go. You're going to need a heavy bottomed 3 to 4 quart pan, a quart of stewed tomatoes, or 2 15-ounce cans of tomatoes. Now, stewed tomatoes can be a little bit hard to find in the grocery store, but what you can use instead are canned whole tomatoes. You'll find them near the Italian tomatoes, and they're usually either like a San Marzano style or a Roma style tomato, and they're canned, and they're kind of canned in like a little bit of a thicker juice, I would say. Those will work fine too, either one. And then you'll need 1 small onion minced, a half a cup of celery minced, 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, a 1/3 cup of flour, 1 1/3 cups of milk, and you can use any kind of milk in this. So like if you wanted to make this soup vegan, you would use plant butter, and then you would use, I would suggest using oat milk. That would work the best in this particular soup. But you can use whatever type of milk you like, whole milk, 2%, skim, whatever. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. So what we're going to do is we're going to saute the onion and celery in the 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine until soft. Mix the flour, milk, salt, and pepper in a small bowl, and you don't want any lumps in that. So what you can do is like stir your flour, salt, and pepper with a whisk a little bit just to lighten it up, and then add enough milk just to make a smooth paste, and then add the rest of the milk and whisk well. That's a good trick to get a nice flour mix so that it isn't lumpy. Now, you want to pour your tomatoes into a bowl, or you can use another pot, and you want to break them up with a potato masher or a fork. You don't want to use like an immersion blender because you want pieces of tomato. So a potato masher, the hand style, works really well. If you don't have one, why don't you have one? Everyone should have a manual potato masher.
Now, can you only use a potato masher on things that rhyme with potatoes?
No, you can use it for other things.
Well, I'm just saying potatoes, tomatoes. I can't think of a third thing.
I often use it to break up meat for like taco meat. I just used it the other day to try and mash up some tomatoes and peppers in a pan, but it didn't work as well as I had hoped. But you can use a potato masher for a lot of stuff like that, mashing fruit for jams and stuff, you know.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was just wondering because,
yes. So if you don't have one, you should. But you can also use a fork to chop them up too, because you want little pieces of tomato, like I said. So break your tomatoes all up, and you want them to be in small pieces, so watch for any big pieces. Now add your tomatoes to the celery and onions that you have sauteing, and you want to bring that to a boil. Once you get that to a boil, turn it down and let it simmer for 30 minutes, and you want to stir this go about every 5 minutes. What I like to do is I'll set my timer for 5-minute intervals so I don't forget that I'm cooking something, because by golly, I will forget that I'm cooking something. So you want to let that simmer for about 30 minutes until it's nice and cooked and it has a nice consistency. Add your tomato paste and mix in well, and then slowly stir in that milk mixture that you made earlier. And you're going to mix that really well, and it'll start to thicken as it cooks, because of your milk and flour will begin to cook, and it's almost like a roux that you didn't cook. You're just adding a thickener to your soup. Once that's nice and thick, add your parsley and stir that in and let it simmer for 15 minutes longer. Taste it, see if you need a little more salt and pepper or parsley. check your flavor. If it's a bit sour or acidic tasting, you can add a teaspoon of sugar if you like. And then you have a delicious stewed tomato soup. This, like I said, is terrific with a grilled cheese sandwich. It's a nice hearty tomato soup, and it's one that I particularly love. I hope you give this recipe a try because it's very easy for how good it is.
And make sure to check us out online on social media at Mary Mac Bakehouse and on our website, marymacbakehouse.com.
Thanks a lot for listening if you did, and if you didn't, too bad for you.